Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Thursday the 15th of June. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments and share the video with your family and friends.
Reach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. 2 armed robbery suspects are in police custody after being chased by taxi drivers following a hold-up at a taxi stand in Pembroke Hall, St. Andrew. The gunmen, posing as passengers, robbed taxi operators and a chef at the stand, taking cash and a child's lunch bag. One victim recounted the ordeal, describing how the robbers searched him and took everything from his pockets.
One of them moved towards me and said, "Where the money there? Where the money there?" So I look at him good and I say, "Where am I dealing?" And he said, "Where the money there? I still don't pay him no mind, but the next one push off to me now. I come to me now." So at some realize a serious thing. So I take up the pan with the money and give him it. So I say, at this I have no more money. And him take up the cigarette out with the money and put on it back on the table and go in my pocket and search my pocket and take out everything out of my 4 pockets.
The robbers also held a gun to a child's face during the robbery.
I was a robbery man. Them rob one woman and pick me up the road and take with the snacks. So look at them hungry.
The suspect attempted to escape by stealing a taxi, but were pursued by other taxi drivers. They crashed into an off-duty police officer's vehicle in Queensbury, St. Andrew.
So them jumping after that, the taxi man car did start, because he did already ready to move to go away. So him nobody turn back to them, him just walk away left the car and them jumping out and drive away. So I saw me jumping on my car now and start chill them. So I saw them come up the road and collide in the policeman car. But I still assist the policeman to go catch them. So he catch 1 and 2 get escape.
The officer fired warning shots, leading to the arrest of 2 of the robbers and the recovery of a firearm. The police are currently searching for the 3rd suspect.
Next one I've gone, I'll bring in one of them, and then get the next second one and bring him in. But right now the 2 car they mash up because they're running up in the next policeman car right after the 2 taxi man car and the policeman one. So and one of the gunman up on the run right now and we still look for him.
A member of the Jamaica Defence Force was fatally shot by gunmen along Millsboro Avenue in Barbican on Thursday morning. The soldier has been identified as Major Bonnie Paul Williams. Williams was serving at the Jamaica National Reserve as a brigade medical officer. The incident occurred about 4:50 a.m. It is reported that Williams was making his way home when he came upon a scene where men were seen attempting to steal a car. The men opened fire on Williams' car, hitting him. He was found lying in a pool of blood beside his car, suffering from gunshot wounds. His attackers stole his licensed firearm. On Wednesday, investigators returned to the scene on Roosevelt Avenue in St. Andrew, where 80-year-old Danielle Rowe was found with her throat slashed last Thursday. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey appealed to motorists who were in the area on June 8 between 4 and 5 p.m. to review their dashcam footage for any sightings of a woman walking with Danielle. The woman, identified as a person of interest, was captured on CCTV footage near the location where Danielle was found.
I am appealing to motorists or anyone who was in the vicinity within the period of 4 to about 5 p.m. That is Thursday the 8th of June, to drag your memory. Check your dash cam to see if you observe a female with multicolor top and blue knickers or denim walking anywhere within this vicinity with a young child, possibly carrying a knapsack on her back. It is important that we really collectively as a nation pool our energy together to ensure that this case is not one of those that is placed on a shelf, but that the person who is responsible is brought to justice. We had a case review this morning consisting of a number of police officers from different locations St. Catherine South, the commander is here. We had police officers from St. Andrews Central. We have the investigators from both divisions and our technical services branch, our cybercrime department. So it's and our national intelligence branch as well. So it's a comprehensive investigation we are doing. So we thought it was prudent as a part of the investigative process to revisit the scene, do some canvassing, looking and getting a better appreciation of the scene. I have some of my most senior investigators, and we are doing our own assessment and will provide guidance and support to the investigative team.
Attorneys representing Tesha Miller submitted to the Court of Appeal that the trial judge's summation was unfair and unbalanced. Miller is seeking to have his 38-year conviction overturned. The attorneys John Clark and Isaac Buchanan argued that the judge's summation failed to properly apply the law regarding accomplice evidence. They claim that fresh evidence reveals an attempt by the prosecution to dilute the warnings about accomplices given to the jury during closing arguments. Clark highlighted the absence of a transcript for the prosecution's closing arguments, which he argues violates Miller's constitutional rights. He suggested that the lack of a record may have allowed for unchecked statements to be made, hindering the Court of Appeal's review of the conviction. Clark also criticized the trial judge for not taking sufficient action to address the impact of the prosecution's tone and language on the jury, particularly concerning a witness who admitted to lying and to killing people. Buchanan argued that the witness, a former gangster, was not credible and had an interest in securing a reduced sentence through a plea deal with the prosecution. Buchanan further contended that the accessory before the fact charge against Miller should have been withdrawn since the accused shooter, Andre Blackman Bryan, was acquitted in 2016. He claimed that Miller's conviction was made unsafe because he was charged under the same facts as an offense that did not stand, amounting to an abuse of process. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security has denied reports of an ongoing fraud probe into the National Insurance Scheme (NIS). However, the ministry has announced its intention to invite external authorities to investigate the allegations. The reports had claimed that the ministry's internal auditors were examining a scheme that resulted in the Paymaster General paying out more money than the NIS had disbursed. In a media release, the ministry clarified that there is currently no fraud probe being conducted by its internal auditors regarding the NIS. However, it acknowledged the seriousness of the allegations and expressed its commitment to inviting independent external authorities to examine them for transparency and accountability. The ministry also assured the public that it is implementing strategies to ensure its system's efficient and effective performance. A 47-year-old woman named Majula Stewartson, also known as Jula, was fatally shot by a lone gunman in Greenwich Town, Kingston 13. The incident occurred on Wednesday night while Stewartson was sitting on a chair with other family members. Reports are that about 8:25 p.m., a lone gunman entered the premises on foot and shot her in the head. After she fell to the ground, the shooter stood over her and fired additional shots at her head before fleeing the scene. The motive for the killing remains unknown and investigations are currently underway. 2 men were shot dead by gunmen at Cornwall Hertford in Withorn, Westmoreland on Thursday night. They have been identified as 22-year-old Emron Hanson and 38-year-old Brian Tulloh, both residents of the community. It was reported that around 8:30 p.m., Hanson was sitting on the front of a yard awaiting his girlfriend, while Tulloh was in a room to the back of the house. While there, residents heard several loud explosions and later realized that both men were suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds. The residents summoned the police and assisted the men to the hospital, where they were pronounced dead on arrival. The police later found several spent casings while processing the scene. No motive has yet been established for the killing. Minister of Culture Olivia Grange has stated that the authorities will take action to evict a woman who is squatting on land previously occupied by Marcus Garvey, the country's first national hero in St. Anne's Bay. Minister Grange informed the House of Representatives that 2 other squatters have already left the property, but 1 woman is resisting eviction. The squatters were offered new houses as an alternative to the rundown structures they previously occupied on the land. These new homes, constructed under the government's social housing program, cost $8 million each. Minister Grange highlighted that the Prime Minister personally handed over the keys to these new homes to the squatters. An illegal gun was recovered from 2 men who attempted to rob a pump attendant at the Unipet gas station on Slipe Road in Kingston on Wednesday afternoon. Sometime after 5, a pump attendant was approached by 2 men on a motorcycle who were posing as customers seeking to purchase gasoline. Reports are that the pillion rider pulled a firearm, jabbed the attendant in her side, and demanded money. The pump attendant pulled away from the culprit and raised an alarm. A security guard on location discharged his firearm in the direction of the would-be robbers. While trying to escape, the gunmen fell from the motorcycle, losing the firearm in the process. The gunmen fled the scene on foot. The police retrieved a Smith & Wesson Springfield firearm with 12 rounds of ammunition from the location. During the period January to March of this year, 4 police officers were accidentally shot and injured by their colleagues. This is part of a recurring trend that the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, has observed annually. INDECOM's Assistant Commissioner Amish Campbell stated that these 4 officers are among 25 individuals who were shot and wounded by the police during that period. Campbell emphasized that every month INDECOM received reports of police officers accidentally shooting themselves. He urged the Jamaica Constabulary Force to address this issue and determine whether there is carelessness or negligence among officers regarding their handling of firearms. Campbell noted that while some shooting injuries are self-inflicted, others occur due to the careless actions of colleagues. Although there have been no fatalities resulting from these incidents, there is a potential for serious harm. Campbell stressed the importance of police officers maintaining control over their weapons and using them without causing inadvertent harm to others. In business, scores of Jamaicans flocked to the Bank of Jamaica in Kingston to obtain the new polymer banknotes. People from various locations exchange their older currency for new banknotes.
And yes, there you go. Wow. There you go. They never tell me say fast.
BOJ Governor Richard Biles expressed satisfaction with the public's response to the new banknotes, highlighting their modern appearance and enhanced security features.
Okay.
The new banknotes are also available at commercial banks in addition to the Bank of Jamaica.
So fast cash is free.
On the international scene, lawmakers in Europe have given their approval to the world's first comprehensive set of rules for artificial intelligence, AI. The European Parliament's vote brings the rule one step closer to becoming law and could serve as a model for other regions working on similar regulations. The rules will apply to any product or service that uses AI systems and classify them into 4 levels of risks. Riskier applications will face stricter requirements, and violations could result in significant fines. The regulations aim to protect the health, safety, fundamental rights, and values prohibiting AI uses such as social scoring and exploitative practices. The rules also address AI chatbots like ChatGPT, requiring transparency and copyright documentation for training data. The EU's regulations are part of its effort to shape global AI standards and foster user confidence in the technology. The rules are expected to be finalized by the end of the year, with a grace period for adaptation by companies and organizations. And in sports, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the 5-time world 100-meter champion, has announced that she will open her season at the National Championships from July 6 to 9. The 36-year-old sprinter had initially planned to start her season in April, but had to withdraw due to a family emergency and a subsequent knee injury. Fraser Price, who competed in the sprint double at the World Championships last year, did not specify which event she will participate in at the National Championships. However, she already has an automatic spot in the 100 meters at the upcoming World Championships in Budapest, Hungary, as she is the reigning world champion in that event. Her last 100-meter race was in September of 2022 at the Diamond League Finals in Zurich, Switzerland. And that is it for your news roundup for today. We would appreciate you liking this video, leaving a comment and sharing the video with your family and friends. Have a good evening and see you next time.